Alright, today's video we're going to talk about a bug that is happening that is very annoying, and it definitely screws you with your farming, whether it's for Solstice loot, or it's loot in general, or your level. It absolutely destroys your farming. This was a bug, supposedly, from day one. I did not have this issue, though, personally, until last week, and then this week I've seen this bug quite a few times. Pretty much every day this week, so the bug seems to be more and more consistent. I think I did see it the second week of the season a couple of times, but it was like a couple times throughout the whole week. So it wasn't really noticeable. I didn't really pay attention, but this week I've had it happen so many times. It's literally been every day, and now I've started to realize what's going on. At first, I didn't know why it was happening, and now I actually understand it, and I'm going to explain to you what's happening. There is no way to fix this, or prevent this. I'm just explaining to you why you're probably getting lesser loot. When this glitch happens, you do not hit high score, which then prevents you from getting tier 5 Solstice gear if you're of light able to get tier 5, or just level in general, you'll drop the same level you are, or like 1 point above or something, and you're like, why is this so trash? Well, this is why it would be. So, you see here I get 1,600 points, you'll see that, we'll get to that in a second. Let's go into this next run. We're going to scroll through until we load in. As you see here, we've got ability kills, we've got fallen depots, we're just going to skip ahead. We activated the button, and we start killing stuff with abilities, because we're trying to get these points. You should always complete these objectives. I will say if you get precision, I recommend just leaving and relaunching. Precision, though, even though it is pretty easy to get against fallen, it wastes your time. It's really annoying. It just slows the gameplay down massively, because as you see, I'm just running around going ham right now. Pretty easy to do. Like, it's very easy to do. The abilities, the weapon kills, or the kills in general, just super easy. They're worth doing. But if it's precision, I always relaunch, because it just slows the game massively down, and it's not worth it. It says these are higher end content. You do want to survive and play higher survivability, so kind of sucks to be slowing your gameplay down or slowing your ability to stay alive, because you have to get precision kills. So it's just not worth doing, in my opinion. Hopefully Bungie gets rid of it. But as you see, I completed both the first objective for the Fallen Depots and then the challenge objective, and it gave me a ton of progress on the bar. You'll see here, we're going to fast forward a tiny little bit. We got the second objective done. It'll be right here. I didn't fast forward a lot. Just a tiny bit, like I said. You'll see it just completed. There's the second objective. Then we're going to go over here. We activated the button already on this one. You'll see the explosion. It didn't count just because an ad must have been alive or something. It happens. I love the fallen one because you don't have to stand around and wait for it to blow up. You can just completely ignore it and go to the last one. Just do them all. As you see, it blew up. Got the points for it. It went up. So now we're going to skip ahead to the final boss. And so attacked him, nuked him. We're nuking him. He's going to teleport away. And we're just progressing here. See, killed him. And then we kill the final one. As you see, there was no points. So what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to get 1,600 points once you kill both bosses for Fallen, or any boss in general, and it just straight up didn't give it to me. And I realized this, and I'm like, what the fudge? So when this happens, as you see here, it didn't go all the way up. I'm just shy of it. It did give me the 973 for the bonus completion. That's what you get for completing it within so much time or something like that. I'm pretty sure it's just before timer runs out. It's a little bonus, which is nice, but it's nowhere near enough to get to the A tier. And if you don't understand this, to get A tier, I have to hit that little arrow that's right there. There's a little arrow at the end there of the bar. If I don't hit that arrow, I can't get A tier. And that's the problem. So because I didn't hit the bar, I didn't get A tier. Now this happens because the boss just straight up didn't count. This happens in Fireteam Ops, this happens in Pinnacle Ops. There are times when bosses that are supposed to count as points just straight up don't count. Ads that just straight up don't count as kills, even though you kill them. And I don't mean like some of the fake ads that can spawn. I mean legitimate ads that are supposed to count as points. Literally one run, they will all count as points, and another run, they won't count as points for some reason. And it screws your runs up, because it's a waste of time. You're going to get weapons or armor that is either of your light or low tier, depending on what you're farming for, whether it's light level or weapons armor farming or something. It depends. Solstice farming, it's not going to be what you want, whereas I want tier 4 or tier 5 weapons and armor from Solstice. So yeah, as you'll see here, we will kill this guy, and when we kill this guy, it drops 1,600. As you see, this was a previous run, and it's dropped 1,600. That's what's supposed to happen. As you see, I hit the gold with 10,101 points. It will drop loot. The loot will be tier 5. Now, in this run, I did get lucky and get tier 5 stuff to drop on the run that failed. Not this run that was success, because this one's obviously going to drop tier 5 because of my light level. I'm always guaranteed tier 5. See, tier 4 stuff and then a tier 5 is always guaranteed with Solstice. For the normal stuff that's not Solstice, it's always tier 4 with a chance at tier 5. And when it gives you a tier 5, it gives you a higher level. That's how it works if you don't know when you're over 400. That's how the system works. But yeah, but because this one was a failure, I'm not guaranteed to get tier 5 of Solstice, which I didn't. I got a tier 4 Solstice, and then I got a tier 5 normal gear, which is actually amazing, because that's really, really rare. You need to hit Air E tier to be able to get that. And I got really lucky on that. So that's awesome for me. But in reality, this happens so often. It's once every 3 runs, basically, for this last week, and it's absolutely screwed my farming up. I've had a lot of tier 4 weapons I don't want. I've had a lot of tier 4 gear I don't want from Solstice. And then I've also had, I have a lesser chance to get a tier 5 piece of gear. For that's actually going to increase my light, a pinnacle tier 5. And that's bad. So as a whole, this bug has really screwed up my farm. I already don't like farming these solo ops, or any of the ops, really. I think they're all kind of boring. I do around 10 a day total throughout the day. I spread it out. I don't do them all at once. I do within 10. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. Again, I don't really like them. And I'm just farming for Solstice gear here. I'm not really farming for level. I'm just nice to get level. But if you are someone that's trying to farm for level, something like this would really screw you over. And Bungie really needs to look at it, because like I said, I didn't even know this was a thing until like the 2nd or 3rd week when it first happened, and I didn't realize what was happening. But because of this week it's happening so often, I actually understand what's happening now, and it's because things aren't counting. So what you should do, and this can happen, it's not just the boss room, it's also the encounters throughout. If you see something that gives you a lot of points normally, if you've done it enough to know where the points come from, if you see something not give you a point, in my opinion, you either have one of 2 choices. Either just leave the activity, or you can complete the activity if you want to. If you get lucky and the loot goblin guy spawns, there's like a guy that's white that drops a whole bunch of points when you kill it and has a chance to drop weapons or armor. If he spawns, kill him. He'll give you the points you're missing, so it won't be that big of a deal. But if he doesn't spawn, personally, I think it's worth just resetting if you are farming for stuff. Since I'm farming for Solstice gear, like I said, I always get tier 4 Solstice gear when this happens. And I don't want tier 4, so I'd recommend just resetting it if it happens. I know it sucks, but you're wasting your time either way if you're trying to get higher tier stuff. Yes, there's still technically a chance of something spawning tier 5 for your light level if you're going for tier 5 light level stuff. Trying to get your powerful up so you're 450. But it is so rare. I've literally seen it once after it's happened like 30 times. It's done it once was nice to me. And it sucks, though, because if it does happen in the final boss room, then, well, you don't know it until the boss is dead and you realize it didn't work, so you don't really have a choice but to claim earlier you're there. But if it does happen early on into the mission, you should just reset. That's my opinion on it. I know I've seen some people say it's because you go too fast or you go too slow or blah, blah, blah. I've seen different people talk about it. In reality, I have seen this on my fastest runs, my slowest runs. It does not matter. This is just Bungie being Bungie, and it's the most annoying bug ever. It slows your power grind. It slows your loot grind, and I don't like it. I really hope Bungie fixes it. And the only reason I'm even making the video is because, again, it's become very common for me personally. I've seen this like crazy. I think something is wrong with these activities if this is happening more and more often. I talked to a couple other people, and they said they've also experienced it quite a bit this week. So I feel like there is something going on in the background. Bungie, your servers are messed up, or the registration of things dying correctly is not working. I do not know. But all I know is the fact it has screwed my loot farm up, and I don't like that personally. Because the loot system already sucks. And now you're making it even worse because of a simple bug that I feel like they should be able to fix relatively quick. As a whole, this is the worst bug ever. In my opinion. It doesn't matter how many broken bugs there have been in the game that are fun or bad or whatever. This one, it completely screws your loot system up in one form or another, and I do not like that. With a loot system that is very restricted and very slow to begin with, we do not want something that screws it up and makes it even worse. So Bungie, please fix this bug. This is the most annoying bug for everything in the game. Again, it's not just solo ops. I've experienced this in every single ops. It just happens the most in solo ops because it's the most I do. I either do Crucible stuff or a Pinnacle thing here and there. Pinnacle ops, or I do solo ops. It's like, I don't really care for all this stuff to farm like 24/7 like some people that are crazy. I don't know how y'all do it. So, but if I can see it and I only have a few runs, I can only imagine what's happening to those that have been running it like 100 times a day like psychopaths. Like, they must be screwed. Like, they probably don't know. Maybe they do know. They just don't care and they just keep going and hope for the best. I don't know. But it is definitely enough to make me annoyed. My tier 5 loot is being interrupted. I mean, Bungie, no, just no. Anyways, that's my rant. I just want people to be aware of what's happening. If you've wondered why your score didn't make it, and you're like, dude, I did everything, what's going on? That's what's happening, is just something in the activity isn't counting. If you pay attention to the score popping up on your screen and the bar in the corner when you complete an objective, if you see it doesn't move or it doesn't give you numbers, you should just reset it. Unless it's final boss, then you're kind of just screwed. Nothing you can really do about it. Anyways, that's the video. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment what you think. I think this is one of the biggest bugs in the game at the moment, so hopefully Bungie fixes it quicker rather than later. Anyways, thanks for watching. Adios. We out. Bye.